Welcome, one and all. This is the Peace Dealer. And yeah, it's finally time. Shout out to all my Geminis and Gemini risings in the building because this is the relaunch we've all been waiting for. And shout out to all the mutable signs in the building: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. If you are in this webinar, your life is going to shift incredibly. And the lives of everyone's are shifting. But we're all going to take advantage of the energy that is double Gemini. The reason why and the reason why Gemini energy is so magical is that when you pull in together the minds of more than one, magic happens. And in this webinar, we're going to do such a comprehensive and intense ceremony with just the power of our minds. Like, we're not in Scorpio season where we have to do juju and probably sacrifice a chicken. Oh, we will do that. But this is just Gemini season. Like, we're just going to do heavy intention setting and very, 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 very powerful mental exercises and activities that rewire your attitude so that just like Sagittarius needs the attitude right to shoot, you're going to be headed in the right direction. So I see some of you in the chat. Holler to all y'all in the chat, holding it down. Someone mentioned very interesting about the 33-day ritual. I'm going to actually restart the 33-day ritual right now today. So for those of you who want to join with me, this is going to be exceptionally powerful. The last time that I did it, I had to deal with a lot of darkness, so I didn't really do it. I did it, but I didn't really do it the way I was supposed to do it. So now I'm about to do it, and this is going to be so much more symbolic. If you're a Gemini watching this, even if you've done it before, please do it again. Like, let's all pull our energies together. And if you're watching this after it's live, I highly recommend you carry the energy as well. It doesn't have to be on a new moon that you start. So yeah, you're going to find that when you do this 33-day ritual, there are going to be powerful influences within you that try and stop you from doing this. Because this is going to give you power, and you're going to reclaim it back from your dark side. And some of your dark side may want to control you. So if you're a Gemini, like I said, you want to join in this ritual with me. And we're going to do the ritual during the ceremony after the healing portion. So for that regard, I always like to keep a portion of this webinar open. And for some of you watching this after it's live, this means you're watching this video and I've uploaded a portion of it. And once again, I always like to make sure I do that so that everyone gains something from this. All right. This is going to be the portion where we really summarize briefly how big this new moon is. Like, this is not new moon in Taurus where we had to really sit within and really evaluate how valuable we are. Now the power we uncovered in Aries season and the possessions and values we gained in Taurus season, we're moving forward with it. Third house, short distance travel. All right, we're actually going to be going places in a short 28 days. Pay very close attention to the short trips you take during the season. They can change your life. Trust me. So make sure you're ready. And you should be bubbling with excitement because this is going to be so profoundly amazing. To some of you, this may just look like all we did was say positive things, but what I'm leaving you with is the attitude that is necessary in order to make it through the season. Now we're going to have the full moon in Sagittarius webinar, and we're going to evaluate what we've done for the first 2 weeks, which is going to have a lot to do with intention setting. In the ceremony, we're going to write down keywords that you want to say every day. And if you're combining this with the 33-day ritual, you're going to be Gucci. And I promise you, if you're doing this 33-day ritual, by day 11, you will experience not only a profound life shift, but you will experience a profound energy shift, because this Gemini season is now bringing in the energy of the new year, and it's incorporating Uranus in Aries, Saturn in Sagittarius, and now the North Node in Leo, opening our hearts. So keep this in mind. Keep this very much in mind. You don't have to worry about staying spiritually disciplined. We already did this. You're going to find this Gemini season that a weight has been lifted, and a lot that has been hard to do, even though it may not feel like it. Sometimes we can have mental shackles and we may feel like we're still chained when the cage is open. So you're going to find that things that you felt uncomfortable doing, there's a newfound sense of boldness. Like, I can do this. And that's why the attitude is amazing. I'm going to present to you possibilities and themes that I want you to focus on. And right now, they may seem a little bit too good to be true. If you worked on your vision in Sagittarius season, then you'll be ready. It won't be too good to be true. But now is all about looking the right direction so that you're headed the right way. You don't have to worry about how to get there. That's Virgo season. You just need the right attitude. You don't have to worry about the facts that are going to really key into, oh, well, why do I have to have this attitude? That doesn't matter. You just have to have the right attitude, because that's going to lead you in the right place. And when you experience what you experience, that attitude is going to be the key. Say it with me. Attitude is key. Say it with me one more time. Attitude is key. And what does that key open the door to? Power. Technically, it opens the door to Cancer. So the attitude is the key that opens the doorway into a psychic connection with an experience or with a person. If you have a negative attitude, you're going to have a poor connection with that person or experience. As if you have a positive attitude, you have that much better chance with connecting. So the reason why connection is important is what's going to happen will so powerfully and positively connect you with your twin flames. So I don't like to talk about twin flames, because my twin flame in particular, we don't really get along. My twin flame is trying to kill me, and I'm trying to get revenge on her too. So, you know, eventually we're going to have to like hash this out. And I'm thrilled because I get to the next step of my karma, but I'm not thrilled because I low-key hate that bitch. But it's all good. It's all good. In between all that hate, there's so much deep love. And when I say you're going to connect with the twin flame or a soulmate, this is the first thing that has to happen. So first thing, we're going to call in our soulmate, not so that you can have the happily ever after with them. You have to call in your soulmate so that you can deal with the karma that has to be dealt with. So I want you to imagine that you're just calling in your soulmate twin flame, and this is, you have to look at them objectively. Okay? That's why relationships are air. You don't put feelings in. You have to look at them objectively. No matter how much feelings you have for this person, whether you already know them or not, you need to look at them objectively, and whatever karma you both have to deal with, this Gemini season, you're going to deal with it. And then after, you can move on your separate ways. If maybe one of them wants to cling on or do that, you can do that after. Listen to me. This Gemini season is squaring Neptune and Pisces. So that square is going to hit your mind like, what? Hold on. This isn't even supposed to be possible, but it's happening. Okay? That's why I say your attitude has to be key. Because you're just going to get smacked in the face by some synchronicities, and you just have to act like everything's cool. You just have to be like, oh yeah, of course that's an archangel and someone revealing their true form that I've never seen. And inside I'm like, but outside I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, that transformation was okay. I've seen Zeus do a better job. You don't really have to lie on the ground, but still, like, Your attitude has to be key. That deep connection that you feel in your heart right now is manifesting this season. Trust me, trust me, trust me. All right? For some of you, it's going to be with that person you've always known it was, and it's going to freak you out. And it's going to freak them out too, because it's like, oh my God, this is happening. For others of you, it's not going to be that person, but the person who comes in place, they're going to be so similar, you're going to be like, oh, no wonder. No wonder. I know the Virgos are like, peace dealer's lips are looking kind of crusty. Hold on. I do this for the Virgos and Virgo risings, who shouldn't have to suffer at my unkemptliness. Thank God for chapstick. All right, so these relationships are manifesting, the twins. Whenever relationship themes develop, you have to look at the air signs. Gemini is when the relationships come in. Libra is when the relationships develop. Aquarius is when the relationships really evolve or not. So Gemini, a whole lot of cycle of relationships are starting right now. And we're going to call in, all right, we're good. We're going to call in the soulmate vibrations, all right? We're going to call in the soulmate vibration, and whoever comes into your life to match that, know that they're coming into your life like, did you call in my vibration? I'm here to snatch that back. So when they come to snatch that back, you'd be like, hey, I called you for a reason. We need to hash out this karma. We need to hash out this karma. And listen, okay? Okay, see, P did 427 said he showed up at the door unexpectedly after the wish power party. Okay, listen, this ceremony is going to hyper accelerate this for you, because what's going to happen is a lot of these relationships are not going to come in until the full moon in Sagittarius. But that's why you got this webinar, and that's why you're messing with the peace dealer. We're going to expedite this process so it comes down in between moon and Virgo, so that you get an accelerated progress and you work to the full moon together. All right, so it's all about calling in this energy, number one. Number two, some of you have a deep emotional connection with this person. So no matter how much you love them, you cannot fall in your emotions. And it's okay if you slip, but get right back up. Every time you fall, get right back up, because you have to deal with the lesson. And some of your soulmates are evil. Some of your soulmates are evil as fuck. Like, they know that all they have to do is just like seduce you, and then you'll do whatever they want. And that's what their lesson is. Like, they're not directly teaching you this, but the lesson is they have to be such a tempter or temptress, so that if you can't even stand up to them, how are you going to stand up to their problems? So I'm telling you though, some of you, you think just because they're your soulmate, they're not completely evil. And maybe they might have to be put in check by you, because no one else can tell them to do whatever. I'm telling you, dude, some of your soulmates are so evil. Just be like, hey. They'll just look at your picture and project lustful vibes. And then all of a sudden you're at work. I keep on thinking about them. Oh my God, why? Oh my, but you don't even know. They're just like thinking of having sex with you, and they're just like projecting that on your picture. And a picture carries an aura, and if you can connect to a picture, you're connected to them. It's real out here, okay? And maybe some of them, they're not evil and they don't do that, but you just have to still be mindful, because at the end of the day, you have to put the emotions second and make sure you keep real. You keep real, okay, with them. And let me tell you why I know your soulmate is evil. Because the biggest lie is that soulmate relationships and twin flame relationships are supposed to be all 10 of cups. Oh my gosh, this person is my twin flame. I know it because I get along with them so well and I feel so complete. Oh, honey, you found someone you have great compatibility with. I don't think you're ready for that soulmate shit, though. Let me tell you. A soulmate relationship is someone who's like, okay, yeah, I'll reflect your darkness. There are certain shadows that we hold in our hearts, and there are certain lies that we tell ourselves. Your soulmate is going to take that darkness and embody it so that you can't escape it. So that the stuff that you know, because it's not only so much that they're evil, the reason why you're drawn to them is because it's like your demons are the same demons and they get along, right? So just like they're reflecting your evil, you're reflecting their evil. You might think you're doing nothing wrong. There's always different perceptions. There's always miscommunications. And some people do not reflect the other's evil. Some people stand in the pureness of their heart, and it actually expedites the connection as well. For those of you who are not sure who is your soulmate, they're not your soulmate. And that's not to say you're not around someone who isn't, but you know who your soulmate is. It's a deep inner knowing. So if you're having to ask which one out of these people are my soulmate, none of them are. And remember, you don't know they're your soulmate by how intense the connection is and how in love you are. They're your soulmate because they add meaning to your life and they force you to face the karma that you either are unaware of or you agree to work out. So keep that in mind when we call in our soulmates during this ceremony. All right, if you don't know who they are, they're going to show up. Okay, they're going to show up, and it's not necessarily like they're going to come to you. They're going to show up. The experience is going to connect both of you together. Okay, the darkness and the light are both necessary. So you're not necessarily trying to get rid of the darkness in this soulmate, but the reason why I'm starting this Gemini webinar solely about soulmates is we have now reached a part with Jupiter in Libra, the North Node in Leo, and now in all this air and fire to really passionately spark off that which was ready since 2 years ago, but needed to be cleaned up. Okay, so you probably already met this soulmate since 2 or 4 years ago, but now both of you have done the inner and outer work to really, connect. And that's not to say this might not be a new person too that you're unaware of, but definitely keep this in mind. All right. What we're going to be doing and experiencing this new moon in Gemini at great length is a powerful awareness and understanding of our attitude. So you really need to set the intention to think in new ways. And every day from now, when you have a negative thought or feeling that presents itself, you have to intend and look at it in a different way. This is going to require thinking outside the box. But when you feel depressed and you start to think, I'm never going to find love, that's a program you're literally writing in your head. And there's negative, pessimistic parts in your brain called demons or negative spirits that are like, oh, you're not saying it in your head. You just have to face reality. This is just what's going to happen. And then you start pretending you're a psychic and that you can map 30, 40 years of your life, that nothing is going to happen when that's just so immature. No, it really is in your head. You have to change that thought. That's the work. That's the work. That's the spiritual work that we all have to do this season. That's how you're going to change your life. You have to change that thought and be like, well, the universe is abundantly knowledgeable, and even realistically speaking, the probability that a situation can work out and I can meet someone who understands me like I understand them, even if it's rare, doesn't mean it's impossible. Or you don't have to analyze it like that. You could just be positive. It's a decision. You can easily be like, no, and it's okay. This is what I say, if you fall down, which life is all about ebbs and flows, when you fall down, get up. We're not in Cancer season where you can stay down and be like, I'm going to float in this. We're in Gemini season. Get up, be positive. And some of you are negative, like you don't like to. So that's okay. You don't have to, but you have no right to complain to other people, because sometimes those people can carry that toxicity and start to infect other people with it, knowingly or unknowingly. And that's how you get bitch slapped by Venus. Don't get bitch slapped by Venus. She's in Aries. And when Venus is in Aries, it manifests new relationship cycles and partnerships, okay? So we're getting close to starting the ritual and the ceremony, and we're going to start this off with healing. In the background of this new moon, Saturn is in Sagittarius, Pluto is in Capricorn, and Jupiter is going to go direct in Libra. So what this really marks a new phase of is how to think about who you are. Some of you are awakening so profoundly and powerfully to the true identity of who you are. And this is what makes Gemini and Aries so amazing together. This is going to be important because you're going to express the identity of who you are through what you communicate. A new language is being birthed from you, and the meaning of that is going to be answered in 6 months when we enter Sagittarius. That's what you're going to manifest. So now moving forward, as we're developing our identity and our value, we're also now developing the language, and it's the attitude and culture of that that's going to really become who you are. And in that sense, this is why not only do your thoughts have to be positive because you're defining it, right? Some of you are realizing you're fire wizards, real fire wizards. And not only can you manipulate flames, you can influence the passion. Fire wizards have a gift of emblazoning passion and inspiration in people. Now in Gemini season is showing you, Aries season was when you realized, I am the fire wizard or a fire wizard. Taurus season was when, okay, I'm a valuable fire wizard. I'm not just any fire wizard. If you look at the caliber and quality of my fire staff, this is why I have value against other people who claim to be fire wizards, but they're fake because they just say they are, but they don't really have actual things to show they're valuable, right? And now Gemini season is expressing the language of a fire wizard, where you now have fire spells, and you now in Gemini season when you make the spells, right? And when you also are able to come up with vocabulary like, oh, okay, well, I can notice people have fire tempers. You're starting to make that language. And this is what's so pivotal and fundamental as we sift seasons in June. So that being said, what I want to leave you off with, most importantly, is really speak your truth. You don't really even have to know how to make this language. Some of you want to skip to the final understanding of how to make this all work for you. And all you have to do, you know what I'm saying, is all you have to do is speak your truth. The introduction, I said, spit your game, talk your shit. Now you just have to speak your truth in all situations. Speak honestly and speak truthfully. And make sure you're in a position where you're not faking and frauding. The universe is going to send experiences and situations for you to now express this out and speak your language. You don't have to stay in a room and think of what you're going to say and then go out and do it. The universe is going to present this in your interaction so that you walk and step into it and you co-create with the universe. There's a lot of potent energy we're about to evoke right now. So, yeah, okay. So with Neptune and Pisces as well, just be very mindful that this is, in a lot of ways, a twilight zone. And as this shifts right now, because what's happening right now is like a strike of lightning. And there's going to be realizations every day. You're going to get an epiphany every day of this season. There's going to be a stronger epiphany and stronger epiphany, and it's going to hyper accelerate. By the time we're like 15 days from now, oh my goodness. So really keep this in mind, because the square to Pisces that we're going to have is going to open up your psychic senses with lies. You're going to be presented with lies, okay? And it's not so much that they're lies, it's that you have convinced your mind that the things you're being seen are lies. And the universe now has to twist your mind just so you can see the truth in them. All right? This is hard to explain, but things are going to get very confusing because your intuition is going to gain so much more power over your mind magically. And if you try and figure it out, you're going to screw yourself because Saturn is opposite Gemini. And you just have to be honest with what you're experiencing. And if you're trying to make sense of it, you're going to screw yourself. If you're honest with the fact that this is kind of weird and you know what's going on, that's the whole point. That's all you have to do. Please don't screw yourself. Venus will bitch slap you. And we have all this Taurus energy with Mercury, so you're still understanding your value. You're still understanding your worth. When this moves into Gemini, ooh! So let's get started. We're going to start off with the healing. Thank you for those of you who have stayed tuned. I do encourage you to get the links to the webinar if you want to continue watching. Even though it's not live, you will still be able to watch the rest, and the ceremony energy that we do will still be potent whenever you do it. So there's no rush. You take your time with this, and peace. That being said, my friends, let's get through to the healing. I'm already starting to feel good. Some of you are already sending healing already. Some of you are jumping the gun and it's just like, woo. Or someone is sending a lot of love. So those of you who are sending love, I feel that. And I usually pride myself on not feeling things. So damn, it's just like it's just like a wave right now. And so, whew, we're going to do some healings. I'm going to light the sage. And I want to start with the card, first and foremost. One thing you'll find is that I'm not going to put timestamps on this. So if I know RD likes to put timestamps. RD is the greatest of all time. Let's just give it up for him. Like, I love you, RD. Like, everyone loves you. Like, this is so amazing. Like, and he doesn't even do it for just this channel. Like, this dude is the greatest. So if you see him put timestamps, that's great, but I don't want to put timestamps for this because I want you to really get into the practice of staying and holding space for every sign. Okay? The Sagittarius would be like, where's the timestamps? But it's like, you can be patient, Sag. Like, yeah, you can be patient. And keep this in mind. So I want to leave you all with a card before we go through. We got the card of patience. You want to be patient. So really keep this in mind, though, because we're going to draw more cards soon. But the Seven of Pentacles is, first of all, talking about you being in a position to reassess the energy you've already been patient for. So this is a lot of your patience paying off. And then this is also, at the same time, you kind of allowing things to grow throughout this energy. All right. There's a lot of grounding that's going to occur. So with that being said, we're going to gather our energies. I now invite the Tauruses, the Virgos, and the Capricorns to ground our energies collectively and feel energy from the earth coursing through your feet and slowly coming up to your crown. Feel the grounding, keeping you steady as you channel this, and not even channel, draw up from the energy. The natural nature of the spirit of earth signs do this instantly, so they don't even have to think about it. As you do this, you can actually use your arms if you want to facilitate it with your mind. But as you do so, usually I say picture a white light so that the group chat can be connected. I now want you to envision energy from the universe, white light from heaven, shining down on your crown, okay? And as they shine down, you're going to be anchoring the energy for the whole world, connecting it to the universal vibrations. These cards, Erica, are the Sacred Rose Tarot. It was given to me as a gift to trade for a reading, so I'm not really sure exactly what the deck is, but I think this is what I was told it were. Nice. So, ooh, this grounding is real. So, okay, connect your soul, and now we're grounded. Okay. This is we're now connecting to the whole world because we're healing ourselves, but we're also going to be healing the entire world. Not really like Mars or the rest of the galaxy in this or any other planets in our solar system. We'll just focus on the Earth. But yeah, the Earth is grounding us to the universal energies from heaven. Okay. And you guys should feel blissed out because that crown chakra stuff should feel really good if you're doing this right. That being said, air and water, both of you are going to do the healing. And we're going to sit with this for 10 minutes. All right. Once fire starts generating the energy, you're going to start feeling the healing. So air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, I want you to say healing affirmations. We are healed. And some of you Libras can go in. You can go into deep psychological healing that we can all collectively heal from, and know that every word you say is like a we are healed. And the grounding to the earth connects it to the earth. We are healed. We are loved. They're not just positive affirmations. We're just going to do healing affirmation. And we're going to, so start saying that. And then water, water, what you're going to do is, since the channel of the ethers of heaven have been raised, put your hands up. You don't have to keep them up. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, put your hands up, and I want you to feel rain, deep water flooding down on the earth. The reason why we need the air to temper this with healing vibrations is so we don't get overwhelmed by this water, because this is water coming out from heaven. For some of you, you don't have to envision floods of water down. They could be healing in any form, and just envision that. Whoo! Is it just me? Does anyone else feel this? Like, I don't, it's all good if you don't feel this. I just want to make sure I'm getting too in my head with this, but wow. Okay, so fire, once you start doing this part, it's going to start generating. So everyone, it's 7:36. I want us to hold this till like 7:45. I'll even put on some meditation music right now so we can really sit with this. But yeah. Fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You don't necessarily have to dance, but because this is more somber, I want you to be more the wild card. You can project love. If you're a Leo, I invite you to just project love. This is going to mega amplify this and open up people's hearts. Sagittarius, you can dance all you want, to be honest. That's going to help a lot. Whatever you do brings energy, so that's why it kind of doesn't matter. And Aries, whatever you want to do, like if you want to just kamehameha people with your raw pure light, you can. If you want to twist and turn, for the next 10 minutes, you want to generate energy. Okay, I'm going to go with the air and say positive affirmations while doing my earth, keying this up. So it's we're going to do this for another like 8 minutes. My heart is like, it's great. I feel that portal too. I'm not sure what portal opened, but regardless, I definitely feel a lot more calm. That's for sure. So I channeled something amazing. So I channeled something very amazing. And the purpose of this webinar ceremony is what we're going to walk away from this with is a new technique. This technique is going to be perfected in Virgo season. So this is going to be very amazing for some of you because this is like the part in time where you actually develop your jutsu. For my fellow ninjas, you may walk out of this learning your first jutsu. And it's going to usually be a jutsu that your heart has been doing through you already. Some of you are cancers and high priests and priestesses. You've been doing jutsus. So we're going to develop a new jutsu. All right. Some of you watching this, you're like, the peace dealer, I have jutsus on jutsus. Jutsu is a technique. I have techniques on skills on techniques and skills. Good, because we're going to make an even new one. Bobo, that's a good feeling. When you feel like that after exercise like that, it means you're very comfortable. So that's definitely ecstatic, as it should be. So yeah, my friends, I even pulled the Magician. So know that this is not some woo-nilly like fake magic thing. Of course, you wouldn't have gotten this webinar if you thought it was. So salute to you. Know that this is more than just real magic, but ooh, nice. Definitely getting what you're ready to do. So we're going to make this jutsu by writing it down. So for example, we're going to go through the Zodiac and identify and affirm this light cast style. As we start with Aries, I'm going to explain what this new moon in Gemini will have you manifest and what you want to intend. But if you're not in Aries, you still want to follow along because we're going to write down special stuff per sign that you have to watch every sign so that you gain the fullness of this. So I'll give you some time to get a paper. Some of you can write it on your phone. I'm going to title this New Jutsu. Or technique. I'm telling you, a lot of people, this is a jutsu you've done, But now because you're activating it consciously, it's going to be more powerful. That's simple. Some of you, you'll have like a super spiritual sparkly thing because you're sensitive to energies. Others of you, it's happening, but you just don't see it. So it's not going to feel any special, but that knowingness will change everything. Change everything. Seriously, knowledge is Aquarius. 3 houses from that is, next to that is Pisces. So knowledge changes power. So that being said, with this new jutsu, for example, when we do Aries, you're going to identify who are you, right? You just spelled it, Bobo. Good job. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Jutsu, jutsu, or technique or skill. This is the unveiling of new skill sets for a lot of people, or the perfecting of it before they perfect it again. So I'm a lightning sage, right? What kind of skill would a lightning sage have, right? A lightning sage could probably provide electric power to a generator, or borrowing on my wind mage abilities, because it's a class above, the new jutsu that I'm going to write down and develop, or this is just an example, I'm actually going to create a new jutsu. The new jutsu that I can do is wind blast blow. I just blow a gust of air, but this is the most important part, and that's why I say it in shows too. I can think it, I'm not just doing it, wind blast blow. I'm charging it with the air, wind blast blow, taking my energy, and the wind blast blow, I programmed it so that that gust of air restores your chakras and your emotions. Well, not your emotions, but it's going to restore your energy so that it's flowing well with the element of air. It's great for people who are stuck in a rut. Wind blast blow. And it's just going to keep things moving. It provides circulation. So the mechanics of that jutsu, that's what we're going to create now. So that you're going to start doing it every day so that by Virgo season, it's perfected. And now you're going to the next level of that jutsu, where you're doing other stuff with that technique. And you're incorporating that technique in your lifestyle. G1 asks, can we be both a fire something and a water something? Yeah, you could even be an avatar if you have mastery of all elements. So you're not limited to just one, but yes, this doesn't even have to, this could be something very practical. If a new skill you develop is typing really fast at 100 words a minute, bam, that's a new skill you can take with you. By Virgo season, you're gonna learn how to incorporate this fast typing skills in your life. So you probably might save the world because you type an email super fast. And those fast typing skills finally paid off. So really, so it's going to seem very simple right now, but you really want to take this jutsu and spam it and use it every day and incorporate it in a 33-day ritual. So that being said, let's take some time right now to think up of this new technique that we're going to create. And it can borrow with stuff that you already have. Don't feel limited and feel like, don't think that there's any limit. If your new skill is to summon a dragon, then you can learn how to summon a dragon. And just because a real dragon doesn't summon, you have from now until Virgo season to perfect it. You might get to Virgo season and you may find that the summoning dragon didn't work, but then somebody just gives you a kimono lizard out of nowhere, just like blah. And it's going to help you think about, oh, maybe I should be more specific, or it's going to let you know how to fine tune. That bridge is very pivotal. So keep that in mind. Whether you want to incorporate the elements or not into this technique, make sure whatever technique you're creating is a technique that you want to incorporate into your lifestyle. So the jutsu I'm going to make is going to incorporate the lightning element of spirit, which means I have to incorporate all 4 elements. And I'm going to call it Instant manifestation, but that's not a good name. Oh, it would be cool to test it. Ooh, just made up Skull Serenity, and it means to banish your negative thoughts instantly. Good shit. We see these Pisces are out here. Like, that was just so sick. That was just so quick for you to make. That's dope. I like that. In fact, it'd be good to make one that you express outwardly and one that's more internal that could kind of heal too. So, in fact, I'm gonna do that. Instant Manani. Instamani. I like that. That's pretty dope. So instead, I'm gonna make a jutsu where I can very quickly and instantly ground myself. Although when it comes to grounding, you don't want to speed this up. So there's a magic quality to this though, because sometimes you just need that instant grounding. So it's going to use the air, and I'm going to call this technique Instaground. Not Instagram, but Instaground. And no matter if I'm super dizzy or if I'm very stressed out and I need to center myself, just gather myself together, picture all that going into the earth, Instaground. This is why you want to spam this, because with neurolinguistic programming, when you do it over and over and you apply it to a technique, then you're able to associate what you do with the feeling of what it does, so that whenever you do it, it actually links. This really works, and a lot of people do this to you and you may not even know. Really. Like whenever you laugh really hard and be like, ha ha ha, you might notice somebody like rubs their ears. You probably won't notice it. Some people are nice with it, but some people do this. Like when someone will tell you a funny joke and when you laugh, they'll like scratch their ear. You don't consciously know this, but your subconscious has picked up on this while you were laughing. Anchoring, as Rowena calls it, as it's called. So they could do this at various points during a week with you, so that now, once they do this, you're not gonna laugh, but you're gonna feel like, and you won't even know, because consciously you won't be aware, but your subconscious will have linked that. So this is what we're exploiting with this. And this is why you want to do this every day. So I'm going to make sure I Instagram at various points. And I also want to make Instaman. Well, tentative title, but we'll just start with that so I don't get stuck here too long. My bad. And that being said, let us start with Aries. I'll be drawing on the cards of the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And we'll also be using the Magical Messages from the Fairy by Doreen Virtue, as well as the Sacred Rose. You know what it is. And I will also pull in influences from the Whispers of Love. We're pulling out all the oracles. Ooh. All right, so that being said, Aries rising, this new moon in Gemini for you, and look to where Aries is in your chart if you're not at Aries or Aries rising. For example, this is my 11th house, 12th house. So the cards pulled and the message here, even though it's going to have for Aries, you want to apply it to that house. So that being said, Aries, this is you really fine-tuning your attitude, and this is going to be more dynamic than anything. The intention that you want to set, Aries rising or Aries, is what is your message? You kind of asked who you are, but what is your message, or what's the attitude that you want to have? And these are going to, of course, be more of a list. You want to list actually more than just one thought or attitude, but what you're going to be releasing in Sagittarius, when the moon is in Sagittarius, are the beliefs that get in the way of you really thinking positively about yourself. So once again, the intention that you really want to set are as simple as, you know, what are the thoughts that you want to think moving forward, which is supposed to be vague so that it gives you the imagination to fill it in, because there's so many things that could be. So the more time you spend, you have like a good 2 weeks to spend every day really developing these thoughts. You don't want to think of this as just a one-time thing. And yeah, that being said, for everyone watching, I want you to affirm right now and write down, who are you? I am what? Of course, we got the Yang card. I am what? Me, I am a lightning sage. I know you felt that. If you wrote it down, you should have felt some power that comes from affirming that. And let your imagination run wild. Don't feel like you have to limit yourself. This is what is being created with the magic of Gemini. And don't worry, Virgo season will humble us. So if you feel like you were too overambitious, it's going to be real in Virgo season. You'll know quite profoundly. So the cards we have are Yang and Aries. This really goes a lot well with the Ace of Wands. Both of these cards are very, they're talking about sparking newness and you know, it really spreading like wildfire. And there's going to be an acceleration to what's sparked, especially with practice compassion, see things from a different perspective. And whether you think you're right or wrong, this is going to help you see how other people can see things, which leads to their behavior. But don't worry, your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. So that being said, let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, this new moon in Gemini energy is going to very powerfully help you manifest great values based on the truth you speak. And the way to tap into this energy, regardless of sign, is speaking your truth. You want to really set the intention to manifest whatever it is you want. And you're going to manifest whatever it is you want by the ideas that you have in store, because you actually work with your ideas. They're not just thoughts that you might have, like a Gemini or Aries may just express. For you, you really want to take the stuff you've been writing down, or it's just as easy as just writing down some goals that Virgo will do this too, that you'd like to accomplish, or more so, what is it about your values that would you like to change? Because this is everything that's going to influence Taurus and Taurus risings, what money comes your way. And it's really going to help you draw the proper boundaries. But what you're really going to manifest with this new moon is an increased financial, an increased financial kingdom with the ideas that really come through, that you can manifest and monetize, which will be great. So the second part of this is the Taurus. Taurus is I have. So What is it that you have that makes you so special, right? As a lightning sage, I have a legendary lightning blade, okay? I broke my sword today, but I use this as a totem to help me remember. This is the blade of the heavens, the lightning blade. This is something that I have like a Shinigami who has their sword. Like they're the soul reaper, and then the sword is the Taurus. This is what they have. It's the manifestation of it. So what is it that you have? And it doesn't matter if you haven't made this physically yet, because everything stems from the quantum imagination realm. Before you've made anything, it was an imagination first. So it's okay if you don't have it. What is it that you have? You're defining this right now. Wow. The cards we have for Taurus: mending. Anything that may be uneasy in relationships or other areas of your life, you're going to really experience a mending. And whatever caused it to be rough in the first place had to happen so that certain things get exposed so that they can be mended. Then we have do some research. You need some more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. Next, we have rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks. So yeah, Taurus, definitely make sure you recoup because Venus is still in your 12th. But you especially have gone through some stress and you want to make sure you're in a much more restful period. And Aries got the Ace of Swords. You have the Aries have the Ace of Wands. You have the Ace of Swords, Taurus. And this is going to be Epiphany City. And Taurus risings, this is you gaining that spark of truth. Some of you, this is you awakening your sword so that you can carry it forward with you. And that's where that yang is going to come forward. So both you and Aries, oh, no, sorry. We didn't get yang for Taurus. But that's where the mending is definitely going to facilitate because now you have a greater sense of consciousness. So Gemini, I got a little ahead. Nice. Gemini, this new moon for you is your relaunch. This is just like Aries and Taurus, you're now going to come into the newness of this energy. And just for you, set the intention to accept and become your true identity. And let your thoughts reflect who you really are so you can develop this attitude the way that you need to. Especially with Saturn in your 7th and Jupiter in your 5th, this is going to be drawing in powerful relationships that bring out more of your heart and creativity. So for the Gemini part of this, you're going to say what you think. What is it that you think about who you are. Or about life. This is where we can get a little abstract. And the key here is you don't have to say one thing too. I'm sorry if I was misleading. You could write as much stuff as you want in each. Take your time with it for sure, but have at least one so that what we're going to do is you're going to take these 12 things and you're going to recite them every day just to align more and more. Nice one. G1 said everyone's story. I think we're all trying to come in with superpowers. Yeah, basically. We're all feeling the call for evolution hard. As lightning sage, you know, I think, therefore I zap. Yeah, all right. All righty. Gemini, we have the Page of Pentacles. So you may be looking after your health and taking care of your beauty, but this is definitely talking about really coming through with an initial sense tangibly of your magic and your power and having to work with building that from the little seed that it is to wherever you want to take it. Love is all around you. Moon signs, this is also accurate too. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as true. Practice, 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 along with the Page of Pentacles. This is with daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. And finally, Gemini, similar to Aries, we have Yang. So this is this new moon putting into expression your thoughts and ideas. And this is you awakening your life force and energy and really tangibly experiencing your magic so that it's not just in your head anymore. Huge. I forgot to light the sage, so I'm going to do so. Cancer, this new moon in Gemini is going to be a chance for you to really recoup your mind because what's going to be revealed are hidden truths. So what you want to set the intention for is to release any negative thoughts or attitudes that don't allow you to free up your routine. What's really important about this is you're going to be manifesting more fun ways to work how you work and also more important ways to like harness and access, you know, to shed restrictions that stop you from doing what you want, really. So this isn't really going to be roundabout because Neptune's going to be in your ninth house, squaring this. And what this is going to do is actually manifest a new form of spirituality through your mind that you can tap into. And there's no linear way to actually put this. But for everyone, now the Cancer portion is how you feel. So what is it you feel about yourself? As a lightning sage, I feel I'm electric. Alrighty. The cards we have for Cancer. We have Justice. So Cancer and Cancer risings. Yes, Alejandra Mendez says, I'm writing what I want as if it already is. That's the most important part. So you don't necessarily want to say, I will feel this, I will feel that. You want to say, I feel this, I am this, I think this. Very important. That's because it already is. That's just like G1 says. So with the Justice card, this is talking about things balancing in your life. People who are not being fair to you, they're just going to really have to organize what's being happening because either you call them out or because karma comes in your favor. But in context, we have take a chance at love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. Okay? So, definitely if you need that push, here's that push for you. Don't worry about being hurt. We have spiritual teacher. Your life, oh shit, your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. And we have happy as well. So this definitely speaks at great length about, especially near once we get closer to your birthday season, things really opening up so that you can feel much greater about being yourself. Leo, this is going to be very profoundly powerful of a period for you because not only are you going to open up the hearts of yourselves and others, but this is also going to help bring into focus and profound clarity a whole lot of hopes and wishes that you've been wanting. They're all going to come together so that you can make new friends, and that's the intention you want to set. You want to set the intention to connect with the Wonder Team that could really help all these things come together for you. Although that's what's just going to happen naturally, as per destiny now, because you and what your heart is opening up for is as a vortex bringing everything into you. Okay, and so keep this in mind, especially because with the cards, we have the Ace of Wands. Whatever you decide to start and spark, it's going to spark. And things will come into place for you to really keep these elements in motion. As if you manifested it and now it's generating. And you've got the power. This is an echo of the Ace of Wands. Use your abilities to resolve the situation. You can do it. All right. Show simple acts of kindness. A simple act of kindness can energize you and bring happiness to those around you. All right. And then we have blessed. So yeah, y'all definitely got the juice. What is it that you love? Okay. Remember, everything that you're saying with this 12 has to do with the new technique. It all has to be a part of that. And yeah, what is it that you love? I love lightning. I love thunder. I love shocking people. And of course, bring your heart into this. And it doesn't matter if what you say doesn't make the most sense right now. Just channel out what you feel and what you love, right? So I love magic. And deep spiritual Connections. All right, Virgo. For you, this new moon in Gemini is going to really help you set the intention to achieve greater goals. And this is where the technique you create will really be the key that you can use with your attitude to achieve those. If anything, this Gemini season is going to have you come into a lot of recognition for what you've done over the past year. So this is important. But you really want to look up and ask, where do you see yourself? What is the truth of who you are and where do you see yourself? And that's the intention of what you want to set and really come into a profound appreciation and manifestation of. We have to the sea. So you really don't want to feel like whatever it is you're kind of tapping into has to be conventional. If you're the only one who sees this vision, you know, allow yourself to bask in that originality. Healing, healed, and healer. Healing energy surrounds you and this situation. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. Especially from you, Virgo. You kind of have Taurus-like powers. And we have the Taurus card, the Hierophant. So there's a lot of meaning and knowledge that is going to come into you and through you. You're also going to be putting some people on to greater way of perceiving things. And so it's very important that you really kind of update, ask yourself based from last year and this year, are the things that you want still the same? If they are, good, and set the intention consciously to really manifest that even sooner than you expect. And for the Virgo, we're going to say I be. What is it that you be? What is your lifestyle? What is it that you live? I be or I live? All right. And how's the webinar so far? Is this helpful? Is anyone lost? Is the flow of, are you following me along with the signs? Are you guys all right? Definitely chill, Syrian or Syrian. Just flowing with the energy. There's since we're dragging out the signs. Yeah, thank you, Apollodite. I'm glad it's Apollodite. Shout out to Apollodite. Shout out to Olivia, who be knowing. All right. Definitely very grateful that you all have supported me thus far and you're present in this webinar. So I still definitely want to make sure that this is definitely, you know, because right now we're breaking down the signs, but the energy is still flowing. And what we're going to do after the webinar, we're going to do the 33-day ritual. So we just did a ceremony and then we're going to do another ritual, and this energy is going to hyper manifest. So we're still in a period right now to law, but yeah, and those of you who have any questions, I won't be able to get to all the questions, but I'm going to answer as many as I can. So keep your questions. We are going to do a Q&A. For sure, after the 33-day ritual, or starting the 33-day ritual. Thank you, Erica. Much appreciated. And yeah, so Libra is next, or make sure you write down for Virgo what you live, okay? Or what you be. I be zapping you and zapping you too. Libra, the card we have for you is, oh, I'm just showing you. For Libra, the ninth house transit that we're going to experience is going to key you into the meaning of everything that's happening. But it's different for Aries. For Aries, it's kind of a lot more like everything just being plain in sight. And for Libra, this is going to have a lot more to do with like being more mindful and aware of what's being communicated. Since you're already at a higher level of consciousness, what you're really going to be profoundly aware of are just your whole philosophy on how you communicate really changing. And this isn't like every Gemini season, because what happens is usually this is just the period where the truth comes to light, and now you know what things mean because what was blind to you is now made evident. But this is a little bit different because it's going to really, you know, keep it. It's a little bit different because the North Node's in Leo now, so you're gaining friends and people in your life who can actually take your life to different places because of the knowledge that they have to share with you. So you're going to find this Gemini season changes entirely how you even see the truth. And it's going to shift greatly how you see yourself as an archangel, because of how the words you use and speak literally shape your experience. Where before it's not a concept, now it's just that much more real. So keep that in mind. With the Ten of Wands, you are definitely going to gain a lot of success. This is Saturn in Sagittarius, so you have to make sure you don't procrastinate. This is success, but you have to work your ass off to make sure you handle each one of these responsibilities. And like Gemini, love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. And then we also have to the sea, which makes sense because you and Virgo are angels. So both of you are having to really deal with that dynamic of being in a position to not isolate yourself, but really go as deep as you can to the core of these issues and not really stay on the surface level. As if you do, you're not really going to come into the right profound awareness of what needs to be done. So what is it that you balance? I balance the light and dark. Really, it sounds vague, but fundamental. Scorpio, this new moon in Gemini is going to change your life. You don't even set any intentions, because there's just an unraveling of your mind that's going to come first with a lot of social anxiety, but it's just going to help tie you deeply into what's true. So kind of allow yourself to get sized. You might actually, there may be a bullet of words that just tear you down. And don't worry, if it does kind of get rid of your ego a little bit, you're not really that much of an egoic person anyway. But you know, it makes sense we would get to the sea with you too. We're now kind of going to the next decade, like Virgo to Libra and Scorpio. Y'all are on some other stuff right now. So that would kind of make sense. You want to be really mindful of what this really does, or how this really affects your going about with people. And you're going to really realize how pieces fit together. And it's only because of your awareness of these things happening in the background, and out of those 3 signs, you're going to really get a depth of what this all means. So we also have healing, healed, healer. Healing energy surrounds you in the situation. You want to set the intention. No, I said don't set an intention, but set the intention to trust more in the universe, because you need that more than anyone right now. Those of you who already have it, good. Carry that, because it's going to change your entire life. So you're going to have all the trust you need. You're going to need all the trust you have, rather. And look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Very powerful. The Justice card is talking about a karmic rebalancing with the North Node in your 10th. So this is going to shift a lot of career changes, which is why you want to have trust in what happens, and you really want to explore how intimately you can get with how you say what you say to certain people. That being said, the Scorpio keyword is I transform. And this is a little complicated, obviously, as it's Scorpio, but I'm trying to think of a different word. This could also be I protect, but this isn't more of a light cast. So what is it that you transform? What is it that you transmute and transform? All right. Like when you do this, or when you ground, you're transforming any negative energies into positive, or you're grounding any negative energies to clear. So what is it that you transform in general, or with this jutsu? All right. Shout out to Annie. I'm glad that this has helped you thus far. Sagittarius. This is going to manifest new relationships for you. And because the North Node in Leo is in your 9th house, it's opening up the doorway for, based on these relationships, to develop your philosophy on love. So because it's Gemini season, it's opening up the truth of your partnerships with people. And it's the ugly truth. It's not really like the beautiful truth. But I mean, y'all like that anyway, because that's what makes you so blunt. So set the intention this new moon to either connect with an existing partner, or to really, connect with the new partner, because you more than anyone can just make this happen, because Gemini is the quickest sign. So definitely by you speaking this into existence, the rest will really happen, because Saturn is in your sign, really making serious what you intend. Remember, you got it like that now. And we have, or I guess you always, but we have the Empress. So a whole lot is definitely reaping its harvest. Some of you who, I don't sense this as pregnancy. This is also the card of unconditional love and just an amazing relationship. And I say that because Sagittarius, we have true love. That's why I'm like, if you want to manifest this relationship, if you want, if you're single, because this is it, yo, true love. This is a once in a lifetime love. and you both feel connected. It's not one-sided. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, this person's the one. And they're like, oh my gosh, this person's the one. Like, wow. And how ironic. We have flower power. Spend time with flowers and flower essences to increase your personal healing power. And then we have happy, happy, just like Cancer. So this Gemini season is going to be profound. And for everybody, Sagittarius is I see. So what is it that you see about yourself? What is it that you see? Gemini is what you think. Sag is what you see. Virgo is what you live. Pisces is what you believe. I see the truth in all that is. Capricorn, this new moon in Gemini is going to allow you to set very important intentions that will very greatly allow you to keep your routine in check. Because there's so many people that you have to multitask with and so many things you have to do in a given day, you want to set the intention to literally map out the goals of what it is you want to do. Moon, rising, and sun. All right. All will kind of apply equally. The sun definitely more. But really keep this in mind, Capricorn, because you want to set the intention for the life you want to live. What is it that you want to do when you wake up? What is it you want to do when you go to sleep? And in between that, just play that out and envision that the whole season and really start to make action, of course, as this happens. So similar to Aries and Gemini, we have Yang. So this is you also manifesting your spirit essence and making it real. And I love it because Gemini got the Page of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. So whereas Gemini is making real this, you already have it real. You're now going to express it more verbally and see it flow there. You're going to come into a more mental understanding. It's very similar to Gemini. It's just more using these elements. They're using your element, you're using their element. It's really interesting. Then we have dietary change. Improve your diet and your life will also improve. And then, similar to Sagittarius, we have true love. This love is a once-in-a-lifetime love. Blam. So, congratulations. And the Capricorn key word is I use or I decide. I use the light to transform the darkness. D, you know what's up? You know what's up, D? Congrats that you're back on your diet. That's what it do. Shout out to G1 getting the supplements. Aquarius, this new moon in Gemini for you is going to have a lot to do with your willingness to express how you creatively think. and allow the words to just flow from your heart. No matter how poetic or creative they sound, you want to set the intention to find new creative ways to express your heart. And I got the children card. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. The South Node is in your sign. You're downloading the greater knowledge of who you are. So allow these children to really bring out throughout the season more creative ways to speak. Spend time with them and really, talk to them. And you really be enlightened to a lot. Truth be told, this is a sacred revelation. A lot of what you know is going to be revealed by other people that you know to confirm a whole lot. And like Aries, we have practiced compassion, see things from a different perspective. Just because someone doesn't agree with you, it's not about being right or wrong. In your case, you really just want to see how other people see things so that it will help you know how to tell the knowledge that you have. And the Page of Swords is definitely you really coming in to a great awareness. But in your case, Aquarius, I see this as a child. I see this as someone who is very mentally agile and astute, really keying you into the truth and helping you tap into that part of yourself, which was very youthful as well. So the key word for Aquarius is I know. What is it that you know about who you are and about your power and about your truth? All right. Instead of calling it instant manifest, I'm just going to call it manifest. It's a summoning technique or a creation technique, as well as the Instagram. All right, so I know I be zapping. Finally, it's Pisces. Pisces, this new moon in Gemini, you want to set the intention for understanding even deeper parts of yourself and where you come from. You're going to gain a greater way to translate more of the spirit, manifest, nice, to manifest more of the spirit and translation of what it is you see and feel. See? My body just literally did something in relation to you. That's how magic you are. So that being said, you're going to find that this could be a bit sensitive because it will be squaring your sun, but set the intention once again to really come into great understanding of the truth in your life, understanding of who you are. Because Pisces, for you, it's going to take a whole lifetime to understand who you are. That's the whole kind of point of this. Like, but you're taking a whole lifetime to really experience it, whereas a lot of us are finally starting to understand. So don't let that deter you. That's very inspiring. It's only speaking of how divine you are. And this is going to be a season where you come into an even greater depth of truth that you must keep to yourself and only share with those who are special to you, okay? You want to also set the intention to communicate more especially with those you care about and with your family. You are just like Capricorn and Sag. We have the Two of Wands. Really look and see your horizons. Look into your future and make plans about what you want to happen. And you are going to really connect with your twin flame as well. True love. All right, this love is a once in a lifetime love. And this is the third sign we've got this for. Perfect timing. This is a right time. This is the right time for you to move forward and exchanging gifts. All right, that's self-explanatory. This may be with your true love. So the key word for Pisces is I believe, which is the most important part. It's belief that moves mountains. And this is the ultimate power. The ultimate magic is belief. That's what makes magic possible. Your belief in it. As thoughts are more than things, it's way deeper than that. Duality and all. Preacher will tell you that. So what is it that you believe about the truth? I simply just believe. I'm just writing, I believe. That's it. I believe. Manifest. All right. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, one and all. Now we're going to step into the 33-day ritual. And I'm going to draw one last card for everyone. Have patience. Love is patient and kind, always. The next one, of course, is shout out to Jessica seeing the synchronicity stack. That's a good sign. All the synchronicities you see stacking are real-time events happening, so they've already been done, and you don't have to worry about what they mean, so that's amazing. So we have, okay, the 5 of Cups. And this is actually talking about the influence of someone coming in your life. This could be a lot of your partners. You may be calling in your twin flame or soulmate while they're healing from baggage. And this is mirroring you also walking away from certain things you have to kind of, heal from. But don't worry, there definitely is clarity and truth that you'll cut through. And then spiritual teacher. Your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. And finally, building blocks. Everything we're building, of course, and setting up is just definitely adding to the abundance that is kind of on your way and already here. So before I get into the 33-day ritual to spark, I just released some new services. It's really just more things at a discounted rate, just so you are able to really kind of not have to deal with choosing one or the other. for those of you who've been getting the question readings, we have two questions available. These are on my site. And then for the astral transit forecast, you get to save $25 on them. And I have a synastry report where you're able to get a free answer to one question. So if interested, definitely go to the store and get those. The 3-month, or rather the 33-day ritual that we'll now be doing is very important, once again, because, you know, we're already well into this new moon. The moon is 9 degrees, Mars is in Gemini, so there's a lot of sex magic and energetic magic in the air for you to capitalize and reap on. And with that being said, for those who want a recap for what this 33-day ritual entails, and for those of you who get a reading with me, that's a one-on-one consultation, the code word I want you to say is magic harvest, okay? The great enchantment is where I wrote a poem for you. Magic harvest is where we're gonna go back and forth with some affirmations so we can do a quick ritual. So bring up and channel important themes that really help hyper manifest a whole lot of your energy. As a Gemini, you know, some people when they get readings with me, stuff kind of happens like much quicker, and that kind of draws the energy. So magic harvest for sure. So this 33-day ritual now, how we do this is, hold on. Cool. How we do this is healing. And we send healing energy to our heart so that we can invoke any beings that we want. And we're gonna pray and talk to them. And we do that morning and night for 33 days. And that's it. You wanna set the intention. And now that you've written these 12 things on your list, what you're going to do with these is in very powerful succession every day, read these. You can incorporate this with your ritual and do it morning and night after you do the healing. Actually, to break this in, you're gonna do the healing, and then when we call the beings, you wanna read this in front of them, because this is also going to really help do that as well, okay? Yeah, so that being said, did something just happen right now? Because I'm a little bit frazzled. Like Black Rose said, did y'all just see that? And I don't know. I thought I was just seeing things, but I don't know what the hell just happened right now. So that was kind of weird. But yeah. So we're going to do the healing. Okay. Place your hand over your heart and just sit here for 5 minutes and send healing energy and Reiki into your heart and let it flow through your body. All right, that concludes the 5-minute session. How are y'all feeling? I have a moon in Capricorn, so I'm very hard on myself. Like, I really want to make sure you're getting the value of what you paid for. A part of me feels like I'm not doing this good enough, and I want to do this even better. So I really do apologize. I really feel like this could just be done so much better, but I think I'm expecting way too much to happen, and I just want to make sure you're all really feeling very tuned in. So regardless of what is occurring, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for really receiving the vibes. Yeah, you know, this is the first part. The energy that you felt is your own energy that you're healing yourself with. So you want to make sure you do this day and night. Even if you don't do the prayer portion or the cosmic commanding, you want to do this day and night. All right. And thank you guys so much for the positive comments. Really, really appreciate this. I know I'm giving you this knowledge, but we're all in this together. We're all kind of pulling. When I'm channeling this, I'm also channeling this from your energy. So it's not all knowledge I know. It's just more knowledge that we're all pulling together. So I really do thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. So once again, everything that you start now, I want you to carry on 33 days from now, and in the morning when the sun is out, and in the night. And when the sun is out, I want you to thank the elements. Say thank you, air. Say thank you, earth, air, water, then fire, and then thank the sun. You don't have to thank the moon openly. The moon, you could just feel it. Okay. So definitely, definitely, definitely keep this in mind. Thank you once again so much for the reassuring comments. And now we're gonna get to the fun part. So let me get my grounding staff. All right. We're going to evoke and summon some entities. So Don't worry, this is protected space because the earth signs have harnessed the power of heaven and the water signs have given us healing with the air signs. So don't worry about any negative entities coming in. There's going to be some dark spirits that come, but they're good dark spirits. They're dark spirits that some of you have following in your karma, so don't have to worry about it. I'm an open portal, so any spirits that you want to summon, you can summon through me. That's totally fine. Don't even trip. Or if you have a direct portal. So if you are a sun in Gemini, Taurus, Aries, and Cancer, you co-create, okay? Grounding stick, you co-create. So you're going to be talking with these energies. You don't have to pray with them, but you're going to be talking to these energies. If you're a Leo, Virgo, or Libra sun there, you're talking to your friends. Keep this in mind. Leo is a little bit different because they're not coming from a cosmic commando, but Leo is like the boss king. So they can get away with commanding these energies. They're the only humans that can command the higher energies because of their royalness. And then Scorpio, if your sun in Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces, you're not praying. We're going to summon these energies. You're not praying to these energies. You are commanding these energies. You're telling them what to do. You're telling Saturn what to do. All right? If you're a Leo or a Gemini, you're negotiating with Saturn. Okay, you're gonna say, hey, Leo, you're gonna be like, hey, this is what I want. What you got for me? Gemini, you're gonna be like, hey, Saturn, can we do this? You have to show respect, right? If you're a Capricorn, Saturn reports to you. All right, it's the boss, but it does its children well. So keep this in mind. So I want to take this time to call in all spirit guides. Of course, boss kings arrive and queens arrive fashionably late. I would like to take this time to open the gate to allow in all spirit guides and entities aligned with our paths and north nodes. Take this time to start calling people in. Call in relatives, call in grandparents, call in ancestors, call in archangels, call in angels, call in imaginary friends, call in gods. If you want to call in Athena, if you want to call in Poseidon, call him in. If you want to call him Mercury, all right? For those of you who, let's say you're a Virgo, talk to Mercury. Let's say even if you don't believe that's your ruling planet, Mercury still messes with Virgo very heavy. If you're Neptune, call in Pisces, call in Jupiter. But since this is the first one, call in as many as you can. For the first day of the ritual, call in every single person that you'll ever call. So take your time. You can even spend time after this. You don't have to rush with us, okay? So take your time to call in. I'm just going to do it at once because I'm lazy. And hold on. If you're lazy like me, let's say you don't want to call in everyone. Let's say you don't even know who to call. Mercury. Mercury is your go-to. Tell your message to Mercury, and then Mercury will be like, Let's say you're like, Mercury, I don't know who to call, but I'm having car troubles and I want to feel better emotionally. Mercury will be like, okay, I'm going to go talk to Jupiter. I'm going to talk to the moon. I'll be right back. So just if you don't know for now, soon as you do this by day 11, you're going to start feeling spirits. You're just going to start feeling people. That means they're contacting you. They want you to call them in. Like, let's say you go through your day and you see synchronicities of like Zeus, and you see Zeus fly down as an eagle. Zeus wants you to call him. He wants to talk to you. So this is, but at first, you may not know. Like me, I'm going to be lazy. Mercury, bring in the whole squad. Tell them to come through. All right, they're already here. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no rules. And if you have any questions, I have a 33-day ritual Q&A that you can listen to, and we go through all of this, okay? It's in my videos. So definitely feel free to call in, whoever you want to call in. And while you're calling these beings in, express your heart. This is just day one. So day one, all you want to do is set the intention. When you call in these beings, talk to them. Like, don't even feel like you have to give them commands. Me, I'm a Gemini, so I have no commands to give them. Like, I'm just a messenger. I'm just going to talk. When I summon these people, I'm just going to talk to them about my day. All right? And this is developing a connection with them. And through this ritual, you're developing this. That's why you have to heal yourself first so you can clear your aura. So you're going to be developing a connection so that their synchronicities are stronger. So you know where they come from. So you know what it means. I'm going to give you the link to the 33-day ritual video right now. For those who want like more specific information, this is more like the rushed version of it. Here it is in the chat. And yeah, my friends, you can carry this on after. I'm now going to extend this to the Q&A, but while I'm answering questions, talk to your spirit guides and connect. Some of you watching this need to pour out and cry right now because they're going to hear stuff you can't tell anyone else. So know they're talking to you. Have the responsibility to know you're now engaging with entities, and there's no scientist who can tell you that the imaginary tuna fish who you talk to isn't real. Seriously, it all exists in the quantum realm first. It doesn't have to have form. This imaginary tuna fish can take form in your friend and say what they were saying in your imagination through your friend when your friend just says something. There's no limits to imagination. If you think so, go get you a Pisces. Go get you a Pisces friend. They're going to show, what? You think there are limits? What? You don't think the imagination is real? Oh. Pisces will just switch on you. Be like, oh. So no, don't do it. And yeah, my friend, really connect. You know, I connect right now with all the guys around me. Thank you, my grandma, for always being next to me. Thank you, Mercury, for always holding it down, even though you could be very annoying sometimes and just keep talking. But hey, I have no excuse to say that because I'm a Gemini too and I talk just as much. So really keep this in mind. All right, those of you who are crying, those of you who are connecting with dead relatives and dead loved ones, they always watch over you. Okay, so please keep this in mind. All right, please keep this in mind and don't necessarily allow this to stop you. Let this ceremony help refine your intent. So the reason why you also want to say what you want to manifest is so you can examine your intent, and just whenever you say what you say, sit and listen. What are the thoughts that come back? You're communicating through your thoughts, some of you through your feelings, some they're going to give you images, and don't worry, like, the first 10 days is just to come into this. The true magic starts once you get into day 11, and this is going to rev. So watch the Q&A to know what's going to happen during those periods, and if you haven't seen it. And if you miss a day, then you have to start from day 1 because it's about the commitment. All right? If you miss a day, sometimes your subconscious will make you miss a day so that you start again. So don't take it personally, but make sure you do this morning and night. It doesn't even have to be for 33 days. This could be a part of your spiritual practice. And you know what I'm saying? If you want to make it 22 days, some of you kind of have to change the rules. I'm just giving you an outline. Some of you have to make it your own ritual. Okay, so that's it. We're going to sit with these energies. The energy is heavy because there's a lot of beings here. And yeah, I don't have too much time, but I do want to answer as many questions as I can. So thank you so much once again for joining. Stay tuned for the new moon in the full moon in Sagittarius webinar. We're going to meet again in 2 weeks, and all the energy that we're generating, if you've made this technique, use it, because in 2 weeks, you're going to come into the meaning of it. This is when you're going to be like, oh, this is what I can really use this for. So until then, don't expect anything. Just move forward with your attitude. We've now developed the attitude you need. Move forward with that. The full moon in Sagittarius, we're going to do a ceremony to release beliefs that we don't need in our lives anymore. And that's going to open up so much more room as we get to the new moon in Cancer. Bobo asks, I have a question about soulmates and Chiron. Do you see that soulmates have a lot of aspects with Chiron? Yep. One of the people who I'm deeply most into, or it's not that I'm into, it's that like I have the strongest connection with her. My Chiron is opposite her sun. Her Chiron is opposite my moon. So I slept on Chiron. But Chiron, especially if they have Chiron Venus, that's a true love aspect. So yes, Chiron and soulmates hand in hand. I had no idea. Smoke Love says, I got Saturn, Capricorn, Mars, Moon, Venus, Rahu, all conjunct in Aqua. All these 5 in my 3rd house. How is K2 transit going to affect these? Bro, my friend, this is talking about you downloading and activating all that Aqua energy, especially since you have Rahu there. Like me, our destiny is going to uncover. Because 10 years from now, it's going to align to see, okay, the gifts that you're gaining from your destiny, how did you use it over the next 10 years? So if you're North Node Rahu in Aquarius, this is like destiny activation. And it's the South Node that activates it. So get ready. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be really awesome. Thank you, Lil Miss Leo. You have a great night. Thank you so much for joining. Citrula says we both have Chiron in Pisces. Is that good? It's really just a generational influence. So it's one of those things that's neither good or bad. It could be good if you both use it good. It could be bad if you both like use the negative. So it's a good thing because you both are healing the same thing. So there's a lot of understanding. That's a good part of it. But you're both going to have the same sensitivity. So that could be a negative part. So you definitely want to make that balance out. Scorpio rising, thank you so much. He's right. We have a 6-month transit report for $100. So we definitely did like a 25 off sale. And don't sleep on the transit reports, because that's your best way of really getting an accurate assessment of what's going on. And the replay value alone is so valuable because you can go back and listen over and over for sure. Syrian says, what will this mean for my 9th house gem moon? Your 9th house gem moon is just going to be coming into the meaning of the truth. My sister has this too. She's a Libra rising. So she's just going to be like, oh my gosh, so this is what this means. This is what this means, because your gem moon already knows the truth. So the sun there is just going to make you aware of your inner soul. Like, oh, I see it now. And you're just going to be putting so many people on blast because, you know, you're not going to want to tell a lie. So I have no planets in Gemini, but in the other 3 mutables, what will the season do for me? Ooh. So this is going to fill in the last piece of the puzzle, and what's real, what the meaning of it, and the spiritual hindsight. You're now going to have the truth. You're going to know how to put all those things into words, because the words are going to come for you as well. Dax, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. I see you, bro. Really appreciate that. And really, you know, feel free to let me know, guys, in a few short days if you notice any changes, because the cool thing with Gemini is it goes quick. You know what I'm saying? It definitely goes quick. Any advice with overcoming communication anxiety with having Saturn in the 3rd house? That's a good question. The advice to overcome the anxiety is to face the fear and say what you want to say anyway. You kind of want to force yourself to have the awkward moment so that your mind has it and it's like, oh, that wasn't really awkward. And it's still going to come in social anxiety. So what's creating the anxiety is holding back. So that's why I'm saying you want to actually say it, because if you hold it back and think about it, it's going to add to it. So you kind of, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, Olivia. And I'm not going to lie, it's not, the anxiety isn't real. So if you actually like express it, you know, you're going to find that you're able to take that nervousness and alchemize it into fun. But that's going to come with experience and practice. So good question, because it's not the easiest thing, but you'll definitely be able to, you know, master this. Sharon just found out the other day her moon is in Libra. I'm a Cancer rising and Taurus sun. Any words on this? Well, your moon is in Libra as a Taurus. So this gives you profound control over how you can ground your body but still be receptive to the social experience. And as a Cancer rising, this really puts this at the foundation of your soul. So you have a special awareness of how people move. And as a Taurus, it gives you a great poker face. But I would say as a Cancer rising, be mindful of the subconscious influences that help you know how to say what to what people. It's not going to be linear, so you just have to trust your intuition. All right. Christina asks, everyone I've been meeting lately has moon conjunct my moon in 8th. Just weird coincidence, or that's interesting. If you're having a moon party like that, that means each person you meet with your moon, that conjuncts your moon, it's further deepening your ability to tap in. So that means there's a great emotional transformation that's about to occur. And there's a sun in the 8th that may come, that may actually like whoosh, finish the job of the moon. So kind of see this as a sneak peek. When you chill with these moons, how do you feel? Because this is what's going to be brought over, especially. Any words on a Capricorn sun, Libra moon, Virgo rising? Yeah, Pluto is tearing you up, and you want to make sure that you're not in a position where you're compromising who you have to be just because of the intensity. So with Jupiter over your moon, take advantage of how things are shaping in your favor because you are very superpowered. Nancy asks, can you give me a suggestion for what to purchase for first-time reading? I definitely advise either the 30-minute astrology reading or a peace session. If you don't necessarily want a face-to-face reading, then a peace package will be cool. But definitely, I would say a peace session or a 30-minute astrology reading. That would be the best to get a first-time reading for sure. Joyce says, I have Mercury and Jupiter in Gemini. How will Gemini season affect me? As a Cancer sun and Sag rising, you're going to really gain a special awareness of how the relationships in your life bring you into the divine and really help you speak your truth. You're going to be seeing the special meaning of the truth and no one else will see it. So the universe is going to send people to give you special divine messages in your relationships. Rocio, what does the midheaven influence? The midheaven influences your career and your goals and what you want to accomplish. So you look up so that you know how you express yourself. Nancy asks, what if your moon is in Gemini? Your moon, you're going to have a personal new moon. And if your moon is in Gemini, it's definitely going to help you. You're just going to be very profoundly clear of what's been happening within your soul. That you're going to see, your inner world is going to come to your outer world. Is it helpful that my spouse and I both have Scorpio moons? Very helpful. You have the same souls, and it's going to feel like that. I have Aries Saturn in the 1st, Mars and Scorpio in the 8th. Is this backwards? It's not backwards, and you can handle the energy by timing, by learning how to feel the action and to just bide it and then act. Instead of feeling like, oh, I want to act, but I want to stay still. You have to kind of learn how to know when to gather the energy and when to strike. Thank you, Alchale Roman. Sorry if I said that wrong, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, most of all. Black Rose says, how do I find my time of birth other than my birth certificate? I don't really know rectification techniques. When I awaken deeper super psychic powers, I really will do that, where I can just claircognizantly tell you your time of birth, but I really don't know, to be honest. It's a good question, and it's something we need to know how to find out, because my mom doesn't know what time she was born. You know what I'm saying? I would love to know a technique. How to harness Mercury and Sag so it brings me closer to others. Don't dim your light so that people are comfortable in their darkness. You're harnessing your Mercury and Sag, right? Don't let people say that you're too blunt. They're too sensitive, and you don't need people like that around you. So keep shining your light. The people who like the real you, they're gonna come, Jessica. And I have to be like that because it sucks. They try and suppress you, Sag, and Mercury and Sag, you don't have to feel like that. All right, so that question kind of hit me in my heart because I kind of feel like you have to be less of yourself because others are distancing, and don't feel like it's you because it's totally not. Bo says, Juno and Jupiter conjunctions, Psychic Nero, are asteroids making conjunctions or opposition? Yeah, asteroids are very important. They're just as important as the planets. So very good question. Libra Sun, Cancer Moon, Aqua Rising. Heaven is not the same as the North Node. The North Node is the destiny. The midheaven is a point based on your rising. Libra Sun and Aquarius Rising, this is actually going to be very inspiring because you're going to come into a new philosophy about how to express what you love through the relationships and how you communicate your language. It's going to be very dynamic, and you'll feel very intuitive about it, but intuitive because you're going to just be aware of things that are not real and they're still true. Okay, I am indecisive. Luna Gem, how can a Gemini be more decisive? That's not possible. We're not decisive people. But how can I pimp this new moon? You can pimp this new moon by speaking your truth. And you have the power of destiny. So no one can tell you anything. And they're going to be gaslighting, but the truth is the truth, my friend. They're going to be running from you as usual, but you can pimp this new moon in your favor by just speaking your truth and knowing that everything is continuing to come through. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to end the questions right here. What does it mean if you have new moon? If you have your parts of fortune in a Gemini in the second house, you're going to gain fortunate new ideas like this that you can actually monetize. And whatever you're going to, everything in your life right now, you're just going to come with new ways to manifest based off that. But the POF is going to actually bring in great fortune through others around you as well. It's going to kind of be a contagious effect for people around you, which is really awesome. To elaborate, if asteroids make no aspects to personal planets but to each other, good question. It's still an influence felt, but if it's next to a planet, it's going to be that much more powerful because then the asteroid is going to piggyback and channel through the planet. Capricorn rising at 0 degrees or 0 degrees in general. Capricorn rising at 0 degrees is more, you know, it's a cuspal degree, but it's not. Okay, Mercury 0 in Pisces. It's really more of a wild card thing because they all progress. I wouldn't necessarily. I don't want to say it's not special, but I like the 0 degrees because it just puts everything at 0 degrees using the equal sign. So it's actually really gangster. New moon in the 7th house, Tiffany, is going to have a lot to do about sparking new relationship truths. All right. So keep this in mind. Set the intention to really have a truthful relationship as a Sag rising. So really envision the relationship you want and know over the next 6 months, it's going to manifest now, but it's going to really come into form then. You spoke a lot on the quality of you as a lightning sage. Can you talk a little on how you came to that understanding about yourself? Great question. This is the last question I'll answer. This has a lot to do with it coming to me. I kind of always knew it has a lot to do with my special path, and my affinity as a sub ruled by Uranus is lightning and wind. So I started as a wind mage, which is just code for saying a child of air, an airbender. And coming into a lightning sage is very interesting that you say, because I'm starting to understand more of it now. And it's teaching me how to segue working with Mercury with working with Uranus. As I come into more understanding of this, I will explain more of this because I have to use my experience of self-discovery to help others discover themselves. So this is a great question that you've answered, because I'm going to take that question with me, and it's what I'm going to talk to my spirit guides. So yeah, happy start of the month, like Dax said. Y'all stay blessed. Carry this magic with you, my friends, and know that once you step away from this ritual, the attitude you carry is going to manifest for everyone. Ace of Wands, my friends, it's sparked, and this new start is happening. Air! Peace.